We're back with Wayne Gretzky, who joined us on TSN for pregame and postgame of all three games of the '87 Canada Cup final. And like the rest of the country, Wayne, you got to watch those games again. And I'm wondering, as you're watching them full length, what suddenly pops to mind? I'm sure there are moments in those games that you had forgotten.
Yeah. Well, first of all, it was really exciting to watch. Obviously, the speed of the game today is so much better and faster than it was 30 years ago. But I was pretty impressed by the speed of both hockey clubs, not only for one period, but throughout the three-game series. Secondly, what surprised me was I forgot that we were down 4-1 in game one. And I forgot that the leads in game 2 and 3 were 3-1 and 3-0 for them. So my point was, it was interesting to see that both teams, whether they were up 2 goals or 3 goals, the style of play didn't change. They were still aggressive on the puck. Players were still trying to score at all costs. The games were very physical. I thought the refereeing was pretty fair for both teams. And all in all, I couldn't get over the excitement level and how intense all three games were, because it was so long ago, you kind of forgot about that.
Yeah, and one thing that certainly we've talked about before, but it really hits you when you're watching the games, I thought, Wayne, was the contracts in the coaching. You know, Mike Keenan against legendary Victor Tikhonov. He rolled his 4 lines, right, Wayne? And,
Yeah.
and you guys went about it differently.
Well, I've said this many times, and no disrespect to Tikhonov, because I know he was a great coach, but I think that one of the difference in the 3-game series was Mike Keenan out-coached Tikhonov. He shortened his bench. He pushed guys to different levels when they were going well. Example, Rick Tocchet in game 3, how he used him, how he used Sutter, how he used Howardchuk, Prop, how he put myself and Mario together. His one constant was he always kept Messier in the middle. He was a big horse, and he was a big physical defensive presence throughout the series. I think, looking at the games, and in game 3, when Kraskov got caught sort of pinching on the last goal, and Tikhonov berating him or giving him the once-over, and I think Herb Brooks said it best. They were never behind. They were so not egotistical, but they had so much belief that they were better and they were going to win, that they were never really ever behind in games late in a hockey game. Mm-hmm. So I think it caught them a little bit off guard. And as you could see, as was in 1980 and as was in 87, even though they were down 1 goal with 1 minute to play, he just rolled his lines. He didn't think of pulling the goaltender to get one-man advantage to go with 6 attackers. So I think he got into foreign territory, and I think Mike was very comfortable in the job he was doing coaching our hockey club.
And for you, as it turns out, it would be your second last game against the Soviet Union in international play. You played 1 game against them in the '91 Canada Cup, Wayne, before you got hurt. And then, of course, in Nagano, best on best, but Canada doesn't play Russia in the Olympic Games in Nagano. So this was really kind of a memorable moment in your career as far as all the great games you had, against a lot of those great Soviet players.
Well, going into that series, going into Hamilton for game 2 and 3, the truth of the matter was, from a personal point of view, I loved Maple Leaf Gardens. So I was so excited about playing in Toronto, Maple Leaf Gardens. And when the series came out, that was said that we were going to play game 2 and 3 in Cops. Obviously, I had a little bit of disappointment. But after playing that first shift in that first period, and when Paul Coffey got the 3rd goal in game 2, it really gave so much energy to the building. And I wouldn't have wanted to play game 2 or 3 anywhere else but that arena. It was so exciting. And for me, as you said, it was pretty much the last time I got to play them in a big game situation. I'd played against them since the World Junior Tournament, the Green Line or the KLM line. So I knew how good they were, and that's what made this series so satisfying, that we weren't just beating a good team, we were beating a very good hockey club.
Yeah, no question. And finally, there were players that you got to know over the years from playing them. Igor Larionov was part of our TSN telecast back there in 2012. But what have your relationships been like with some of those guys at KLM line? And I know you went to Russia a couple of times over the years. What's that
Well,
been?
listen, I think the world has become a smaller place. And in 72, as Phil Esposito said many times, there was a hatred between not only players, but the way of life, countries. That all changed in about 84, 87. Guys like Igor and guys like Fedosov, they wanted to know about the NHL. They wanted to know about Canada. They wanted to play in the NHL. They idolized guys like Ken Dryden, Phil Esposito, Mario, Mark Messier, Bobby Orr. So we became friends. And so we understood that even though our way of lives were different, they had the same goals and the same dreams that we did as people. So we developed friendships and relationships. And I think our game from 72 on impacted their game and made them better players. And I don't think there's any question what they brought over to our country, puck movement, being patient, going back and then regrouping, all those things that we have in our game now is a big part of what they brought over. So we helped both countries and we became friends. And that was the best part about the entire series.
Yeah, and that certainly came at the forefront in '87. Wayne, want to thank you for your time. Tournament MVP Wayne Gretzky, by the way, in '87 with the 21 points. Tough
Yeah.
choice probably between
Yeah.
yourself
But
and
listen,
Nico. And yeah,
yeah, we weren't even thinking about that. When you get down to this, the emotions are so high. Those things are, who really, what does it matter? The matter is that we won. I was so fortunate to play with guys like Messi, Mario, Coffee, Bork. I mean, I can't say enough good things, and memories last forever. And we worked hard. We went through a lot, and the end of the day, the result was just really gratifying.
well, as a country, we had a blast reliving it,
All
Wayne, over
right,
the past week. And thanks for your time and bringing at the forefront a lot of great stories.
all right, thanks, and show the 72 series. I'd like to watch that.